So the mysterious problem is pretty weird. The owner bought this car, came back from the dealership, I washed it up, I was going to seal it and do my normal process. The first thing I realized, I said, okay, there's a little problem here. Seems to be overspray on the car at first glance. So it was right in this area and all the way through the back and of course on the other side. I took it off with clay, sealed the car, perfect, everything looked great. I went away. Next week, came back, same exact overspray on the car in the same spot. You know, a little bit of a different area here and there. So I said, okay, did you get it repainted again? Or this is very confusing to me. I said, no problem, I'll take it off. And when I say take it off, I'm using the clay bar, and I'm actually going through 1 to 2 clay bars, which is very odd on a car like this. So I said, no problem, we'll clay it again. And I'm scratching my head saying, this is weird. The third week goes by, the same exact thing. Now at this point, it looked as if he had driven through a snowstorm. So I said, okay, he drove through a snowstorm. He must have hit something on the way to the city, or I don't know. You know, this is a great thing that we're having on film because I don't know the answer to this one. So the third week I took it off, and then I realized to myself, well, wait a second, it didn't actually snow. So on the third time, the light bulb went off and said, there's something weird going on with this car. Let me grab my camera. So I'm here again the fourth week. It's probably, I don't know, 2,000 miles on this brand new car. And I'm guessing that it's coming from the rotors and the calipers. They're so big, maybe it's giving off some sort of brake dust or something that's attaching to the car, because every week is this wicked overspray all over the place. So I have that as an option. Maybe it's where he's parking, maybe it's where he's driving. I'm trying to figure this all out. Again, I don't have the answer to it. If you have any guesses, obviously shoot me an email. But we're going to learn as we go. I'm going to take out my microscope and I'm going to show you a few things and show you this very odd overspray that's not normal. We're going to clean it, we're going to wash it, we're going to reseal it, and then we'll see what happens next week. So let's get started. All right, so before we even get started with taking off all this mysterious overspray, first thing we're going to do is the wheels. So while we're talking, I'm just going to put a little bit of, the second thing is, remember, this is my the AMMO foam. So this is the soap for the paint, and we've talked about it in I think one of the first videos of Drive Clean, which by the way, season 2 is coming out in the springtime, so that's exciting. We're going to start shooting that soon. But back to here, this is my wheel soap. It's very thick and very strong, and it's specifically made for the wheel. Remember, paint soap, wheel soap. It's how I attack the wheel safely. So remember, there are two different things. This is what's in my bucket right now of all my wheel tools. So the combination between the wheel soap and the cleaner comes out absolutely perfect. So I'm going to pull the camera in a second. You'll see there's actually some color change going on right now as the product, the wheel cleaner, is releasing the dirt from the rim, and you can see it's starting to turn purple. So I'll give that another minute. But when I'm working on a rim, I like to start off first with the spoke wheel brush. In this case, I'm using the Wheel Woolly. I start out at the top of the rim and allow the cleaner to flow down and then of course out. Use any tools that you're comfortable with, whether it be a wash mitt, a spoke wheel brush, or a lug nut brush. Use the least amount of aggressive cleaning to get the job done. On most rims, I prefer to use my lug nut brush because it can reach places my fingers can't. The key here is the combination of the Plum rim cleaner with the Brute wheel soap. That makes for an amazingly safe and effective wheel cleaning technique. Also, when I'm done, I like to scrub down the rubber tires with one of the brushes that I have in my wheel bucket. Next, rinse and wash the paint to remove any loose dirt. Now normally I might use the foam paint soap as lubrication for the upcoming clay bar contamination removal, but I'm not. And I'm not because the contamination is so heavy. So what I'm going to do is use a machine. In this case, just dry the paint safely with hydrate and move on to the next step. All right, so I'm here with my trusty MacBook Air and of course my Dinolite magnifier here, and we did that in the last Drive Clean episode, episode 8, when we restored the 356 Porsche there. So what I wanted to show you is I've left a little area here that has dirt on it, the original dirt. And there's three things that I've learned while I've been playing with this and you know, before I turn the camera on. And the first thing is this area, like I said, has a little bit of dirt. This area is clean. Now what I like to do, along with my wheel cleaner, my wheel regimen, everything is, like I said, totally crazy. I just testing to make sure things are working. So right off the bat, I put the Dinolite on here. You're not gonna be able to probably see this on camera, so what I'll do is I will take a picture of it on the camera here. I mean on the microscope here. See, there's that little silver thing right there. That's you can take a picture with it, which is pretty neat. So right here, I will take a picture. Boom, there's one, and it saves. And when I hold it up against the clean paint, here's an interesting little sort of factoid, if you will. Now there's a little bit of scratches and scrapes in it that pick it up with the microscope, which is cool. But here's the thing that is sort of empirical evidence that when the car is really dirty, you don't see the minor little scratches. Why? Because the dirt is actually blocking the view of the scratches. It's pretty obvious. So when a car is really dirty, occasionally I run into, you know, customers, and the car will be filthy. I'll clean it, and then they'll see. And when I say clean it, I don't mean restore it and polish the paint and do that. I'm talking about just a basic wash. They'll see, like, wow, it looks cleaner, but why is there so many scratches now and things like that? It's because the dirt covers it, and I feel like I've somewhat proved it here, because you can't see any scratches when I look into the dirt. You just see the dirt, and when I look into the clean paint, you see little scratches. So that's number one. That's kind of cool. Number two is I'll move the camera and I'll show you the difference between a clear bra area, and I'll go right on the clear bra, and an area that of course doesn't have a clear bra, and you'll see little scratches. So that's evidence as to why clear bras are actually pretty effective. So let's move over there and get that done. This front area has been totally clear bra, the mirrors and the back and things like that. But here is the front. So right off the bat, this is a clear bra. And I'm gonna take a picture for you guys right now. Boom, there's a picture. That's what it looks like. I'm not sure if that's coming up on camera. Can't really see any scratches. That's all you're really seeing is the clear coat through the clear bra. Now if I move up just a tiny bit, wow, look at that. Now that just kind of proves to me the effectiveness of the clear bra, which is cool. Now the third point, we got to move to the other side. All right, and lastly, I'm starting to test a few things here. It is getting a little bit better or easier to remove. So there was a lot of contamination, as I can see with the microscope beforehand, and that little test panel I have on the other side. And then once we washed it down, it seems as if a lot of those things that were stuck to the paint came off. Now, are all of them off? Absolutely not. So what I'm going to do next is show you a different technique on how to clay, and it's claying with a machine. Now, normally what I would like to do is when I wash the car down, I've said this a bunch of times, but it's a great way to save some money. When I wash the car down, I'll use the foam, the soap, and I'll use that as a lubrication because I have to do the entire car. If I'm doing just a spot area, I'll use the spray wax. Now, can't necessarily do that with a machine for obvious reasons. It's electric, and if I had the entire car full of water and soap, you know, do the math. So today I'm going to show you this technique, but you need to use spray wax. So 1 or 2 squirts there. I'm going to do this area. Let's do this area. I'm going to leave it on a relatively low setting, so it's between 2 and 3. It doesn't need to be super high for this. And just as if you would polishing the car, you can use this nano-skin. It's basically clay, the same type of material that is in clay. I'll take a close-up shot of this, and it's in a plate, a pad here, so you can move a bit quicker, and it eats up more of the contamination in bigger scoops. It's like the difference between using a spoon and a plow. It takes more bites out of whatever it is that you're doing. So let's get started. Put it on the paint. Just like you would when you're polishing. Same type of pressure. It's actually as simple as that, not terribly complicated. And when you wipe it down, oh my gosh. So much so that I'm going to grab the camera right now. That the difference is audible, and of course, you know, I can feel it, but you guys are not going to be able to feel it through the camera. So I'm going to pull it up. Wow, unbelievable. I'll show you right now. Guys, I'm behind the camera now. Remember, that's the wheel. This is the area that we just did. I'm trying to get you situated here. Now, this is going to be a kind of a different way to show how this area is smooth, and right around here or here is where I stopped. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to put my hand on the paint. It's kind of hard to show this without you guys being right next to me, but watch how my fingers glide across the paint, right? And then what you'll see is when I hit that line over there, my fingers will go, they'll get a little funky, watch. Watch the distance between all four of my fingers. See a catch right there? The line is right there, so watch. This is pretty cool. So the difference is there's little things here that are sticking up and catching my fingers. Now on this one here, it's just super smooth, and then as I hit this line, it catches again. That's the same sort of idea when it catches the light. So you want the light to just bounce off this and come directly into the camera lens. Here, in theory, all these little, as they add up, all these little contamination, all these little dots, as soon as the light comes in, it goes all over the place. It goes this way, goes this way, goes that way. It doesn't go directly back into your eye. So that's why claying is another great reason, amongst 100 others, for paint reflection. As you can see, this is nice over here. Let me finish the rest of the car and I'll show you the after shot. All right guys, now I'm at the back of the car. I can't help myself. We showed the visual way to see the difference between claying and not claying. Now I want you to hear the audio. I put a boom mic on here, so hopefully it picks it up. So here's, I've clayed from here over with the machine. As you can see, it looks pretty good too. But I want you to hear how it sounds. This is clayed. So can you hear the difference? Hear this. That's no clay. This is clay. You can hear a little bit there, but no clay. I'm using the same pressure, same finger. Look, I'll even drag it over. I just don't, there's nastiness on there, so I'll come over just like this. Hear that? Versus. So that's just another way to show the difference between clay. Visually, now audibly. Well, the Cayenne has been cleaned, clayed, and of course sealed, and it's looking pretty good. Now what I figured out over working this car for the last couple of weeks is now I'm thinking that maybe the exhaust is causing some of the abnormal buildup of this contamination on the car, because the rear of the Cayenne here has an exorbitant amount of contamination buildup. So maybe it's a combination of the exhaust and maybe the brake dust. And I'm thinking also, because it's a new car, maybe it's working out like the motor is just breaking in and something funky is going on. But if you guys have any ideas, leave a comment below or shoot me an email directly at larry@ammonyc.com. As always, thank you for watching my ride-along videos. I love talking to you guys through the camera and showing you what my day is all about here. I will talk to you guys on the next video. Thanks again.